Hey guys, I'm Luke, this is my brother Liam, and we wanted to do a quick little testimonial for Australian Property Scout and Sam Gordon and everyone else in the team there about our experiences purchasing numerous properties through him and obviously the results that's given us. So to kind of start the journey in 2017, I bought by myself without kind of any knowledge and no help a property in Sydney, in South Sydney. It was a very, very expensive one-bedroom apartment, which at the time I thought I knew what I was doing. I didn't, I had no idea, and realised that was a mistake. I ended up selling it and losing money when I did that. And at that point in time, I realised I needed to get educated in property investing and listen to a lot of different podcasts to do that. Via doing that, I ended up coming across a podcast with Sam Gordon in it, and he kind of told his story about where he came from and his results. And I think at the time he had 20 properties in his portfolio, and thought, hey, that's someone I want to reach out to and speak to. And obviously I did that. So I spoke to Sam a handful of different times, basically just discussing my situation, what I'd done previously, what I wanted to achieve with obviously passive income and such, and then decided to engage Sam to purchase a property. During all of this, I've been having conversations with my brother about what he wanted to do with property, and naturally he listened to the podcast and he basically engaged Sam actually before I did.
Yeah.
So when did you engaged him in 2019?
Yeah, probably near the end of 2019, probably around September or so. Just reached out to Sam after you suggested listening to the podcast because I had a growing interest in the property area. When I listened to the Out SPI podcast, heard a bunch of different speakers on it, and then heard Sam and he really resonated with me because just very relatable, a similar kind of walk of life. Started very young. Myself, like I'm 26 now, bought my first property just over a year ago.
2 years ago. It's basically 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's actually almost 2 years ago now. So to have been able to do that at such a young age, like to me, was just kind of still crazy. When I first talked to Sam, I had some probably rather lofty ambitions, which quite frankly I thought were absolutely ridiculous and unachievable. And Sam instantly was like, no, that's genuinely possible. Like, it would take time, but it's something that's very, very achievable. We just got to do it the right way. And Sam kind of talked me through that, the whole process. And obviously we couldn't go like gung-ho immediately with just the situation, how much money I had available to me. But he was able to get me a cracking deal to start off, which has just helped me get on my journey.
Set up the
property
portfolio.
Now. Yeah, so I've got two now. One in Brisbane, one in Perth.
And it's worth mentioning that, both Liam and myself didn't just speak to Sam first and went straight into it. We spoke to, I know I spoke to 3 or 4, I know you spoke to a couple of different buyers agents out there to try to work out a strategy that worked and someone that you kind of trusted to spend all your hard money. Like it's a big deal buying property, and you need to find someone that's completely relatable and that you can trust. Like black and white, it's all about trust.
And not even that, you could tell from just speaking to Sam that he's not in it just to make the quick buck off his fee, the team's fee. He wants to go on this journey with you.
He genuinely wants to help you.
Yeah, he wants to see you succeed because he's done it, and he knows that there's so many people that want to do this kind of stuff, but either don't have the time, don't have the knowledge, and him and the team are 100% willing to be there for you every step of the way and just give you everything you need so that you can also have the same success that he had.
Yeah, so your first property was in Brisbane in
Yep.
2019.
Yep.
My first property was also in Brisbane in mid 2020. Kind of similar areas. What was your deal?
So mine was a nice little 3-bedder, about 190,000, which is about 40,000 under market value at the time, which was fantastic. Did a little reno work on that, which Sam helped from start to finish, showed me exactly what needed to be done, gave me contacts. Just
Pretty much project managed the whole thing.
Yeah, just helped start to finish, pretty much held my hand, to be honest, which I definitely needed because whilst I'd listened to a few podcasts and had done a bit of research, there's so much that I just had no idea how things worked really. So yeah, he was able to do that, and then a year later I pulled out about $75,000 in equity.
So how much was it below market value at the time?
About 40,000 below market value at the time.
About 12 months later,
It had gone up about 100,000 from purchase price. So I was able to pull out.
So you near enough doubled your money.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then pulled out more equity.
Yeah, and from that, I was able to use that equity to purchase a deal I've just done with Sam over in Perth, which is another cracker. I'm going to do a granny flat build on that to generate some more passive income.
Yeah.
And then even from there, Hopefully in a few months' time,
See
we'll be
how
able
it
to start
goes.
looking at more properties, build that portfolio.
Yeah, so my deal with Sam, I changed jobs and I kind of wasn't in a position to be able to go get a home loan and such at the time. And obviously Liam went and did his deal. I saw his results. I actually, before I even bought anything with Sam, had referred him to like 5 or 6 people because I just knew he was the real deal. The time came for me, and we ended up buying off the back of, it was in November 2020, a 3-bedroom brick home in Brisbane. Paid $261,000 for it. It needed a bit of a freshen up. It was a one-owner, old lady kind of home. So paint, new floors, which Sam basically helped project manage the whole thing, found the tradespeople, got the painters in, got the quotes. I literally just had to sign off a quote approving it, which they were always the right price. And then he helped getting a leasing agent. We rented it for $400 a week, which is more than I actually ever expected. Which saw, if you do the numbers on that, it was like 7.9% return, which is crazy. Fast forward to March 2021, we refinanced it somewhat conservatively and pulled out $50,000. It actually came back at $320,000 market value, and I pulled 50 out to keep it conservative for good cash flow. And then have just rolled that into another deal, funnily enough, in Perth, just like Liam, for a 4-bedroom brick home for $286,000. We're basically seeing no reno costs, ready for a granting blood if I want to put one on there. It's probably circa, again, 7.5+% return. So that whole process has just been flawless. Obviously, with the pandemic and COVID, we can't go and see any of these things, and so you're trusting Sam and his team to do their job, and they've literally done their job hassle-free. I've seen my property once. He hasn't seen his property ever, and that's how much we trust the team. Like they get the job done. We've never had to worry about it.
You have seen my property though.
I've seen your property.
Yes, yeah.
It was pretty nice. So yeah, like we can't say enough. Like he's gone always more than over and above what he's needed to do. The whole team, Morgs, Jason, everyone involved in APS, like, thank you. You guys have helped set up our journey in property, and this won't be the first or second. I know I'm not going to stop anytime soon. I know you're not going to stop anytime soon. There's going to be granny flats. There's going to be developments, more cash,
bread and butters,
plenty of bread and butter deals, which you hear about in your Wise Wednesdays. So, again, everybody, thank you so much, and we could not, say better
enough. Yeah.
things. Like, keep doing your thing.
Thank you.